Hello and welcome to our beautiful Basilica here at Carmel Mission. You know, from the very beginning, when St. Junipero and his friars came from Spain to this sacred ground to build a community of faith by sharing the good news of Jesus Christ to people who had never heard that good news, those who cared for the mission understood that thoughtful care and restoration are not just practical tasks, they are acts of faith, acts of faith. Way back when I was a young priest beginning my priestly ministry, I never imagined that I would be here in this beautiful place, the resting place of a saint, sharing in the legacy of his pastoral leadership. A crucial part of that legacy has been the shared goal of myself and many other pastors before me to keep the mission intact and safe for future generations. In a special way, since 1877, when the mission was reclaimed and restored from semi-ruin, parishioners, benefactors, clergy and staff have poured their hearts into preserving what you see today. And I'm deeply honored to be part of that lineage of committed stewardship. I want to share with you now what has happened here in recent years, what is happening right now, and why I believe this moment in our mission's history is so important and so very profound. Did you know, for example, that every building at Carmel Mission, apart from this beautiful basilica, has changed its purpose over the centuries? Crespi Hall once stood in the middle of our central courtyard, and the buildings you walk past on a Sunday morning have each served different generations in different ways, as classrooms, gathering spaces, places of worship, of prayer, work, and community. Each space carries its own story, a story of adaptation, of resilience, and of people who refuse to let this sacred place be forgotten. The story is still being written, and thanks to your support, we are writing one of its most significant chapters right now. Through our annual ministry appeal, our AMA, you have made something extraordinary possible. Thanks to your generous support of our AMA, more conservation, preservation and restoration work has been completed than in most other periods of the mission's history. The last 12 to 15 years marked the beginning of what we believe will be remembered as Carmel Mission's modern restoration era, a time in which we witness the canonization of our beloved founder, St. Junipero. Let me assure you that every dollar you have contributed to our AMA campaigns in recent years has gone directly to the work of restoration, not to management, not to administrative costs, but directly to the work of restoring our beautiful mission. I would like to update you on where our recent ongoing AMA projects stand today, because these are not isolated efforts. They are interconnected chapters of a single long-term plan, our strategic master plan. The work we do on one building inevitably gives us knowledge about the next. The evaluations we complete today make our future campaigns faster, more accurate, and more effective. This is restoration done thoughtfully and purposefully, the way it ought to be done. Our 2024 project focused on the Blessed Sacrament Chapel. Phase 1 of installing a ramp and handrails is nearing completion. Phase 2, which will provide access to the pedestrian plaza near our visitor entrance, is pending permit approval. We have also completed structural condition and seismic reports that will guide our planning for years to come. The Mora Chapel project is among the most meaningful works we've undertaken. At its heart, it is about care, the meticulous identification, documentation, and protection of the sacred artifacts entrusted to this mission. Many of these artifacts can be traced back to St. Junipero himself and connect us to the very founding of our mission. Before restoration work can proceed in the chapel itself, every artifact must be inventoried, photographed, and moved to a secure storage space. We are creating a dedicated conservation workspace, a proper home for these objects, while they wait to be returned to their rightful place. Now, this is not just a construction project. It's an act of reverence for everything placed in our care. It will leave Carmel Mission with lasting infrastructure for artifact stewardship, something that will serve us and generations that follow for a long time to come. The title for our campaign this year is A Safe Path of Travel. It focuses on something that affects every single person who comes to the mission, how we move through it safely. We're planning to build an accessible ramp at Crespi Hall, along with much needed repairs to its windows and carpentry, and a seismic evaluation of its structure. We are evaluating campus-wide parking lot improvements, a unified path of travel connecting all buildings, and a safe route to the Murphy parking lot. Because of the careful planning work completed during our 2024 and 2025 campaigns, we're entering this project with a clear scope and known costs. This is not an accident. This is the result of doing this work with patience and intention from the very beginning. I'm very pleased to share with you that we've created a dedicated restoration website, a living archive of Carmel Mission's preservation history. There you will find architectural timelines, the stories of notable benefactors, stories of the pastors who came before me, and the parishioners whose generosity made it all possible. We will continue adding to it as our work grows. So I invite you to visit it, to explore it, and to share it. This is your history, and this is our shared story. What you're helping to preserve, remember, is not just mortar and stone. It's not just old buildings or special, beautiful artifacts. No, it is the living heritage of a sacred place that has served the faithful for over 2.5 centuries. It is the faith and vision of those who built it, and the faith and commitment of those who refused to let it fall. It's your faith, expressed every time you give, every time you come here to worship, to pray, every time you care for this sacred place and the community that it supports. On behalf of everyone at Carmel Mission, I thank you. Thank you for being part of this story. I look forward to everything we will build and restore together.